Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another book review. Typically I don't really read romance novels because I just find that they're so unrealistic and incongruent, and the list will go on and on and on. But honestly, I can say I really like the way Delisa Klepas writes, and this is her second novel in the Friday Harbor trilogy. I haven't read Crystal Cove yet, but I'm going to get it and read it because it has more of the supernatural element in it, and this is the reason I like it, because it's different. I've never really seen a romance novel tackle the paranormal, and this does, because this estate and on Dream Lake has a ghost, and of course the ghost doesn't remember who he is, but he's haunting one of the characters, Alex, and Sam is the one who had come to restore the house. The house was in desperate need of repair and refurbishment. Um, and of course the ghost starts to have an existential crisis, which is really funny, because the ghost believes that if the property is razed, that he will cease to exist along with it, and I thought that was very amusing. Um, I thought it was really well written and very vivid, very visual, and the romance that was depicted uh, really gave me some ideas for a story I'm writing currently. Um, I really enjoyed the book. I thought that it was really lighthearted and uh, very romantic and very touching and just exhilarating. It was very tantalizing, particularly when they talk about Zoe's cooking. I just thought that was tremendous. I thought, if it's possible to change the world with food, I think it can be done, because there are some people in this world, and I think I'm getting to that point. I just have some practice. I need to keep practicing with my culinary expertise. I have a lot of ways to go, but I'm getting there. But it said in the book that Zoe had this uncanny ability to heal with the way that she cooked, and I think that there's a lot of truth to that. It really depends on if you cook with your whole heart and without reservation, and there might be a little bit of sorrow included in that cooking, because she had been hurt in the past, and she was the exact opposite of Alex, and of course this story is about opposites attracting, and the way that they're pulled together is really quite remarkable, and it really does make me believe that there's hope for me yet. So I'm glad I read it, because at first I thought, I don't know, I really don't like romance novels. It's really not my cup of tea, but I loved it, and I think that if you haven't read any of Lisa Klepa's books, um, I think probably the first book would be the best one to start with. It's called Rain Shadow Road. Dream Lake is the second, and Crystal Cove is the third. But I haven't read Crystal Cove yet. I plan on doing that fairly soon, because I saw it in the store yesterday. I thought, Crystal Cove is out, I need to read it, but I'll get to that point eventually. Until then, I shall see you with more reviews, and current update. I am working on a script called Sandcastles. It includes a tragedy that happens to my main characters at the very beginning. Of course, it has a happy ending, but it's all very um, phenomenal in the way that all these elements come together, and there's a happy reunion between my sisters, my elder and my younger sister, in that script. I'm also writing a story called uh, it's called Outdoor Learning Academy. It's basically kind of like Xavier's school for if you think about Xavier's Institute in X-Men, it's similar to that. You have these um, young people who are learning their true talents and abilities and everything, and they learn about survival in the wilderness as well as just everyday common sense, mother wit sorts of methods, basically. Um, I recently finished Shadow of Doubt. It's on fictionpress.com. Uh, what else am I working on? I have another story that I haven't really started writing yet. It's a script called Robin the Hood. It's basically a newfound version of Robin Hood. My Robin Hood in this case is female. My Sheriff of Nottingham. I don't know. I can't remember if I have her fall for the sheriff or not, which would be really weird because she has to get by on her wits, and she's got a lot of moxie and chutzpah. Um, got another tale I'm working on that I think it came from a combination of watching Orphan Black and the fact of the matter that I really like Vinny from Littlest Pet Shop, but I thought, now what if people had reptilian DNA in their system, or uh, they had experiments done on them where they combined human DNA and different sorts of amphibian or reptilian DNA, and that's what you have here in this particular story. The experiments basically escape and they form this underground posse. I call it a posse. It's very old west kind of terminology. I like that kind of language. It's even though it's you don't really hear the word posse used that much anymore unless you're watching a western. But I just think, yeah, it really suits them because they're vigilantes and they they help clean up the streets at night. They're nocturnal by nature, of course, as they're cold-blooded and they're reptilian. But I really like it. It's called Underground Justice, and I really would like to see it become a comic book because I think it would do very well. And all the different characters have their different uh, defining abilities as well as just the way they interact with one another and the fact that they have a matron and patron watching over them, making sure that they adhere to curfew. It's just a very different kind of story, and I'm really enjoying writing it. So that's basically what I'm up to at this point in time. And starting June the 10th, I get to go to my externship for the first time ever. So it's all very exciting and petrifying at the same time. I was trying to think of what else I've been up to. Not really that much. I'm planning on seeing quite a few films this summer because this is blockbuster month and it's my favorite time of the year. And also, car shows are going to be occurring, and if I can go to one, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'll be there. I almost was going to say bet your bottom boonduck, but I didn't. Too much homestuck. Um, I really don't have that much else to report other than I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. It's very short, and it has an excerpt from Crystal Cove. It's 355 pages, and it really lies. It says coming February 2013 when it's out and available for reading now at wherever bookstores are located. But I plan on reading it and giving my review of it, and it revolves around a different character rather than having Alex and Zoe and Sam. Yeah, those are your three characters. Well, and the ghost, of course. The ghost. I'm not going to give anything away about his character. And Emma. Yeah, Emma's the one who lives in that estate, and she can't remember anything about her past. She's got sundowners, which is a form of Alzheimer's, and she has TIAs or mini strokes, and those can be fatal, which is really sad. It's actually kind of tragic when how they describe those, because it's accurate. I've taken a class on dementia and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and all its different forms. It's not a very kind disease, and it doesn't really discriminate. Um, that's basically all I have to say. And I really savored the book, and I'm certainly glad I read it, because it gave me hope for the future. And I think that's what Miss, or I don't know if she's a Mrs. I'll say Miss Klepas was trying to do in her writing, and I'm glad that she did it. And I just give her 2 thumbs way up for her effort, and the visual artistry of her work. And I am definitely looking forward to reading Crystal Cove. So as soon as I read it, I will do a review of it, and you can catch me then. So until I see you, ciao!